Hello, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my story with the Women's Brain Project. My name is Tausha. I'm from the United States. I currently reside in Georgia, but I am originally from Michigan. My diagnosis is functional neurological disorder. There are plenty of other sub-names for this disorder, but I just go with functional neurological disorder overall. The symptoms that impact my everyday life the most are fatigue, chronic pain, both joint pain and nerve pain, and then also brain fog, because that just makes the day very confusing sometimes and it makes productivity pretty difficult. And then the main thing that really affects me, it's not every day, but it does affect my everyday life when I am having flares, is the tics and tremors that I have, because then I really have to become dependent on other people because of the fact that my legs don't work as well as they should, or I'm not able to get the words out that I want to, and I'm not able to just function in general because I'm moving and tremoring and trembling. So that is really impactful. As far as access to treatment and services, I feel like, honestly, no. I would say that no, I don't fully have good access to that. I feel like because not many people do. I know that functional neurological disorder is still being researched, and the medical professionals are still trying to learn about how to accurately treat and service functional neurological disorder. So in the United States, especially for me, I can only speak for me, what happens is that people who get diagnosed get defaulted to mental health. And so if you don't go to mental health, or even if you do, that's kind of where the road stops unless you continue to very, very actively advocate for yourself. But it's not as if I was set up with a team of people or a bunch of treatment options or a treatment plan as soon as I got my diagnosis. When it comes to the diagnosis, I received the diagnosis. I received a link to a website and said, you'll do well with this because you have pretty good insight. So when it comes to having good access to treatment and services that meet those health needs, I would say no. I would say that I am not the worst case that I have ever seen. So maybe if my case was a little bit more severe, or if it was more severe on an everyday basis, then I would have had more treatment options, or I would have had my provider provide me with more options. However, I don't feel like I even get checked back in on as far as what else can we do for you. It's more like, are you okay? You should be okay because I told you to go to mental health. So it's a little bit of a hard pill to swallow, to know that I might not have the access to the things that would make me be better. However, I just go ahead and I try to be better with myself. I try to make myself better. I try to do everything that I can do for myself, since I don't have that access outside of myself. I will say that I have felt some bias when it comes to my age, because I have had providers say, well, you're too young to feel this pain, you're too young to this, or you'll do fine because you're so young. And so it's kind of like, I don't know that is actually an appropriate statement, or that might be true. If I am coming to a provider and I am seeking help, I feel like regardless of the age that I am, I should be able to get the help that I am asking for and that I am seeking. But I have felt a little bit of bias about that. The Women's Brain Project is a nonprofit organization that focuses on women's brains, and it focuses on the fact that things are different between men and women. We have a lot of similarities, but there are differences because of different chemicals, hormones, and different things like that. And this organization has a dedicated team of scientists and professionals that are trying to make diagnostic journeys and treatments better geared towards the gender and sex that you identify with. And that would help to make access to treatment easier and allow people to get rehabilitation sooner. And so they really are partnering with people in the community. They are partnering with different companies in the industry. And so they are really engaging so that they can address the whole woman and her brain in order to help her heal, which is is so, so, so important because women are really the foundation of life in the world. I feel like doing this interview is already support from the Women's Brain Project because it puts our stories out there. It makes it so that we have a platform to speak on. It makes it so that we can be seen and heard. And I love that. I feel like that in itself is the support that is needed for people to be seen and heard and believed. And so that is the support. If we can continue to do this, interviews and lives and different talks and podcasts and things, I think that is a major, major way to support women in general who maybe don't deal with anything, but especially women who are dealing with issues in their brain, because it can be very isolating. And so the support is showing that there is community and that you're not alone. I would say that it's real, even though sometimes you can't see it, and that we really do need support, and that it's not going to just be better overnight, and that there are going to be fluctuations in how we feel. So we might have a good day, a good week, a good month, or then we can go into a flare, or then we can have symptoms arise. And so it is a journey. That is, I guess I would say, that is what I would want to say, is that brain and mental disorders is a journey. Even though it happened in ourselves only, there are things in the world that we can't control and that we can't maybe understand as well anymore, or maybe things that are not as accommodating as they are for more able-bodied people, for more able-brained people, let's put it that way. So I feel like it would be better if people could understand that sometimes we need accommodations, but other times we don't want to be treated any differently. So it's just support overall. I would say just try to ask questions if you don't know. If you don't know, and if you are confused about anything, ask questions. And that's how understanding can really take place. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this again. My name is Tausha, and I would love to continue to do work with the Women's Brain